Hey, Junior Power Kids, it's Miss Dana. Welcome to the clubhouse. I am so excited to have you here today where we are still working on our May theme. Does anybody remember what we are calling it all month long here at church? Yell it if you remember. I'll give you a hint. It has fire trucks and helicopters in the picture. Do you remember? Very good. It's called To the Rescue. So all month long, we are talking about how God made us to help. You know how you are really, really good helpers with your family at home and at school and everywhere you go? Well, that is because God made you to help. So all month long, we are talking about stories from the Bible that people helped each other so that we can remember that God made us to help. So today's story is from my very favorite book called the Bible. That's right. And whose book is the Bible? It's God's book. Good. Yell it really loud if you know how many books are in the Bible. That's right. 66. And it's broken into two parts, the Old Testament and the New Testament. Today's story has Jesus in it, so we know it's from the New Testament. Okay, so do you remember the sign that I taught you last week for help? If you remember, show me now. Very good. So if you weren't here or you don't remember, the sign for help looks like this. So it's like you're giving me a thumbs up, right? You're making a fist with your thumb up, and then your other hand is lifting it up. So that's how you say help. So every time I say help, I want you to do the sign. Let's practice now. God made you to help. Very good. So in our story today, there were 4 friends. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4 friends that knew somebody that really needed help. Very good, guys. So Jesus was coming to town and everybody was super excited because they had heard all kinds of cool things about Jesus, like how Jesus is the Son of God and Jesus could do amazing things. They'd been hearing all these stories about how Jesus was doing these miracles, things that only God or Jesus can do, and they were so excited. And they knew he was a really good teacher, and everyone was super excited to see and listen to Jesus. And so Jesus came to town, and he went to this house, and he was teaching people at this house. Well, the 4 friends, they had a friend whose legs didn't work. He was what we call paralyzed. So that's like he had legs, he just couldn't use them to walk or run or do anything like that. So what their friend did most of the time was he laid on a mat. So I have a sheet right here to kind of help you guys think of this. So their friend laid on a mat, okay? And the only way he could get places is if somebody carried him. And so these 4 friends had a great idea. When they heard that Jesus was in town and he was teaching and helping people, they thought, you know who could help our friend who can't walk? Jesus. So they went and they picked up their friend. So remember, there were 4 friends, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they went and picked up their friend who was paralyzed. So he was laying on the mat and each of them probably took a corner and they carried their friend. And it was probably pretty hard, right? It's pretty hard to carry a grown-up. And I don't think it was real close, okay? So they were carrying their friend on the mat. And they finally got to the house where Jesus was teaching. And it was totally full of people. Can everybody say, oh no? That's right, it was so full they couldn't even get in the house. They knew they needed their friend to get close to Jesus and that he would help. So they thought about it and they thought about it and they decided that they would carry their friend, remember, it was a grown-up, on a mat. They carried their friend all the way to the roof of the house. Can you say, what? That's right, they went up on the roof. So back then, the houses were made of like stone and the roofs were usually made of like mud and straw. So the friends got to the roof and they dug a hole in the roof. So they dug a hole in the roof and they took their friend and they lowered him down on the mat and they placed him right next to Jesus. And when Jesus saw the friends and the man who couldn't walk, he was amazed at how much they trusted him. And he looked at the man and he said, you're forgiven. And then after that, he said, get up, pick up your mat and walk. And the man whose legs didn't walk, he picked up his mat and he walked and he danced and he was so excited. Can everybody say yes, yes, yes? Jesus is awesome. So guys, I don't ever want you to just know a bunch of stories. I want you to know why they're important to you. So what do you think the lesson is from this story? I think there are probably a lot of lessons. So let me know what lesson you think is from this story. Yell it out. Very good. So there's a lot of cool lessons. Like I said, number one is Jesus is amazing, right? He can do amazing things. And Jesus loves to help. That doesn't mean it's always going to be something easy. It doesn't mean he's always going to make our problems go away. But Jesus loves to help. And the other thing is that he made you to help. God made you to help. Very good. So, just like the friends in the story, when they heard Jesus was in town, they got their friend because they knew he needed help. You can look for ways to help other people too. So, this week, I want you to keep working on every single day, looking for ways that you can help other people. Because when we help other people, we can love like Jesus. See you next time.